Today's episode is brought to you by the folks over at SeatGeek, the best and easiest to use ticket platform out there. They take the confusion out of buying tickets using a 0 to 10 scoring system and a green is good, red is bad color rating system so you and your loved ones get the best deal possible. So whether it's going to see our beloved Redlegs at Great American Ballpark, the Bengals over at Paycor, FC Cincinnati, one of the area college teams, or pretty much anything in between, use promo code Riverfront at checkout and receive $20 off your first order. Click the link in the show notes to download the app and get started. That's Riverfront, one word, for $20 off.
Hello, everybody, and how we doing? Welcome to another fantastic installment of NBA Friday, part of the Riverfront U Network, which is part of the Riverfront Podcast Network, where you make this possible at patreon.com/RiverfrontCincy. I'm Tim Daniel. Join me as always each and every Friday for you lovely people, Sean Mackey and Parker Fields. Folks, Sean, I know you were with me Sunday on Late Night Reds this week, but we've had some pretty solid content of late, and I think our Christmas song draft was a banger. I think it was a great episode.
It was. I had a lot of fun doing that. We're going to have to do something similar next year.
Yeah, I think the most amazing thing is we had 7 people on a podcast, and we went a minute over an hour.
Yeah, it was good. I don't know how we did it.
Yeah, I don't either. That's like, I could never get it right. Here, we have 3 of us, and we always go over an hour, so I don't know what I'm doing. We got Parker in the building. What's up, buddy? How you doing?
What's going on, Tim? How are you doing?
I'm fantastic. It's the holiday season. We're going to talk a little bit of our Christmas. We're going to talk about the Christmas Day games this year. We're going to discuss our all-time favorite Christmas Day games. And then our draft was given to us by our guest last week, Ben Brown, the all-time Shaquille O'Neal teammate draft, where Sean will have the first pick since he was not here last week. And I think that's the easiest answer in the history of the universe. But real quick, let's talk about a few things around the league before we get to the Christmas Day games. And I just want to really quickly mention, so I'm just going to get this out of here for the sake of Sean and I. I think it's set in stone at this point. The Bulls are better without Zach LaVine. And we talked about this for a second before we went on air, but I said, save your comments, save your points, because we got to discuss it here. And look, I love Zach LaVine. I was not anti the fact the Bulls gave him the contract. It just probably, we know what happened. Everything went wrong when Lonzo Ball got hurt, and that's why they're in the situation they're in. But Kobe White looks like he has the potential to be the 4th or 5th all-star guard in the East right now. Patrick Williams has finally shown glimpses of being a good NBA player. Nikola Vucevic looks like he's like a year younger. And DeMar DeRozan has found space again to get mid-range jumpers. And then you have guys coming up the bench like Ayo Dosunmu is playing better. And this isn't me going on here and saying like the Bulls are going to make the playoffs. Everybody watch out. But this team is obviously significantly better without Zach LaVine dribbling it out James Harden style for 12 seconds on the shot clock and then setting the offense and then figuring something out. Kobe White's running the offense very well right now. And this is a Bulls team that's looking pretty decent the past couple weeks. 7 of the last 10.
Yeah. Here, go ahead, Sean.
Nope, Parker, you go.
Oh, I'm not a Bulls fan like you two. Well, Sean claims to be a Magic fan now, but I don't know where his heart lies. But as an outside perspective, somebody who doesn't watch them every night, but I watch them a decent bit. I mean, they just look like they're playing a lot more together right now.
Yeah.
DeRozan also seems like he's comfortable, fading into not a role player, but he doesn't have to take 30 shots a game. And you know what I mean? He's not worried about his shots as much. DeRozan just wants to win basketball games. Whereas LaVine out there, I feel like he's a lot more worried about his shots, how many times he's getting them up and stuff like that. And
right.
You can tell DeRozan's fine with playing through Kobe White if he's hot or playing through Vucevic if he's hot, stuff like that. DeRozan's not as worried about that kind of stuff. And I think he's just worried about winning games. And I think, honestly, if they don't want to blow it up, obviously the best move is for them to blow it up, but it doesn't seem like they want to blow it up whatsoever. So if they don't want to blow it up, you could definitely trade LaVine for a OG Anunoby type player or something like that. Just another solid role player to bring to the team that, could bring a lot of value.
boy, would I like to see Zach LaVine in Toronto. He would be absolutely fucking miserable there. Like he absolutely would be just miserable in that city. No, I think you know what, Parker? That is a perfect trade that the Bulls probably will end up going for. I mean, there's all
I feel like
this,
the Raptors would go for it too. They're the type of team that would do that too. I feel like.
oh yeah,
I saw the
I mean,
Sixers are like heavily monitoring Levine. I was like, you guys don't want that. You don't want that.
no, I would be disappointed in the Sixers to make a move like that because I don't know if they need to make a move at all.
No,
I
I
agree.
don't think they do. I just think they need
Yeah.
another like wing defender, is
Which
what
you
I
can
would
get
do.
on the buyout market. You don't have to.
Yeah,
make a trade.
100%.
Or you could trade for Caruso.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going anywhere.
I don't think
I don't think so either.
he had a few plays last night that were he just looked so good.
The-
It's so good. It's
They're winning much right now. Like seriously,
Yeah,
they're winning
yeah,
too
well-
many games.
well, and also, I mean, like Pat Williams has been playing pretty well. Finally, like he had they lost against Miami the other night, but he had 25 points.
He was
against
awesome that
them.
game.
Yeah, he was absolutely awesome. So this team is weirdly figuring it out, which is, I mean, they're still 10 and 17 right now.
12,
They're not
12
12 and
17.
17.
12 and 17. I'm so sorry. Yeah. And, but it's going to be interesting to see what they've got, going on. Obviously, tonight they're playing the Spurs. Spurs aren't very good. They're playing the Cavs. Cavs haven't been great. Then you got the Hawks, the Pacers, and then you got the Sixers on December 30th, which they did beat the Sixers the other day, and the very first time they've ever beaten Joel Embiid, which is just, I mean, it's been a running joke for fans for a very, very long time that they'll never beat him, and they like quietly broke the curse.
I think it's really funny that so you mentioned obviously we're recording tonight during the Bulls Spurs game. So anything going on right now where we're recording will happen. We probably won't be able to get fully an update on that. So don't blame us if something crazy insane happens. Patrick Williams is guarding Wembanyama tonight and he has 3 points. Like
I know, yeah. And Wembanyama's been shut down tonight.
And then, like Pat Williams. So this is the guy that I bought all the rookie cards of. This is the guy that I was like, hell yeah, they took him 4th overall. It just took me 7 years and all the loss in profit on those cards. But I mean, this is the guy we saw his rookie year that we were like really excited about. They were like, oh man, this was a guy. He was all rookie. He was really good. You're like, well, if he can figure out offensively, he'll be fine. Last night he's hitting like threes over freaking like Taurean Prince and Cam Reddish, who's had a really good defensive season. I'm not gonna go say he hit threes over LeBron. That didn't happen. But
They were making some bullshit last night.
Yeah,
Oh my
they
god,
were.
I was getting pissed off. I had to turn off that game. It was making me so mad.
I had
Every
to-
time the Lakers were making a run, it would be a Dasumnu step back 3. I was like, him and Javon Carter couldn't miss. I was like, bro, what?
I know. But yeah, I think the writing's on the wall at this point. I don't think if I'm the Lakers, and then this is the team that always comes up for LaVine, obvious reasons. He's from California. He's a clutch client. All those things are going to come up. I don't think he's worth giving up Austin Reeves. I really don't. And this isn't to say he isn't better than, like, he is better than Austin Reeves. So don't be wrong, but Austin Reeves and LeBron have this like amazing chemistry together that I don't want to mess with. And Cam Reddish has become a good player for this team.
Well,
I would give up Cam Reddish for Zach LaVine. Don't get me wrong, but
yeah.
The one thing I worry about Reeves getting traded is like I feel like Reeves has a little bit of LeBron dust on him right now, and I think he makes him look really, really good. Like you said, their chemistry is awesome, and I would be really curious to see what he would look like on any other team. Like, I mean, if I'm Chicago, though, I'm saying you're including this guy because I don't want,
and you
I don't want D'Angelo Russell at all. Like, there's no reason why the Chicago Bulls should have him at all, unless this was 6 years ago. Like, there's no reason.
Yeah.
And
Brooklyn, fresh off the All-Star game, D'Angelo Russell. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure. I'll take him then. But
the only counter I would say to that with Reeves is like, if you're the Bulls looking to target him, I don't even think it's because like we saw in Team USA, he's one of their best players, and that was without LeBron on the floor with him and everything. So like, I'm high on Reeves, but I think D'Angelo Russell has to get out of there because I think Reeves legitimately would be a 20-point per game scorer if he played had the ball in his hands
You
that
can-
much.
If you watch LeBron closely in those possessions when D'Angelo Russell's on
D'Lo
the
came
floor,
in the game. Do you remember he came in the game when they were making that run last night, and he stopped. He was barely trying on defense, and he got pulled immediately, like 1 minute later, because he got cooked by Javon Carter and Desumbu.
yeah, the LeBron.
I swear.
It's true. It's the LeBron body language when Russell comes in the game compared to when, like, without Reeves, compared to when Reeves is on the floor, is so funny. And it's so noticeable if you watch a lot of Laker games, because he just kind of, I wouldn't say he takes plays off by any means, especially on the offensive side, but there is definitely like this, like, okay, all right. Well, I mean, if you look at last year when they made that run in the playoffs, D'Lo wasn't playing in crunch time. It was Reeves. It was like Malik Beasley in some games. It was, but
not Beasley. Beasley was benched the whole playoff run. He didn't play.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Do you remember his shooting? He couldn't make a shot. He got benched the whole time.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I want to like D'Angelo Russell because, like,
same. I have in the past.
Like, he's from Kentucky. It's just like, and the thing is, he was playing really good to start the season, and his splits are still, like, really good. Like, he shoots a high percentage. It's not like he's inefficient. Like, he shoots really good splits. It's just something about him. Like, it's just like possessions go to die when D'Angelo Russell has the ball. He's only averaging 9 points a game in December, and he was averaging 18 points a game before December started. Now he's down to 15 on the season.
He's that hitter in baseball that, like, in April will hit like 380, 390, and you're like, oh, this guy's gonna have a really good year. And then May and June will hit like 212. That's D'Angelo Russell.
He's just streaky. He's very streaky. And if he's not shooting, like, he'll have a quarter where he looks like, if you just watch basketball and you watch one quarter of D'Angelo Russell, sometimes you'd be like, that guy's got to be a top point guard in the NBA, right? Because, I mean, he's skilled as hell. He's really skilled. He's plays at his own pace at all times, which I think is to a fault. He plays way too slow all the time. And I don't know. Like, I want to like D'Angelo Russell, but I just don't think you're winning a title if he's playing crunch time.
And the prime example of that is if you look at Minnesota right now with Mike Conley, who's 77 years old.
And way worse than D'Angelo Russell in terms of individual player at this point, but he's just a lot better fit for a team.
Yeah, he is. Do you think the Cavs are going to trade Mitchell? I don't think they are. I think they're just going to wait it out another year, let all these guys get healthy, and see what they can do next season.
I agree. I don't think they will. Now, should they? I don't know.
I'm back and forth on it too. I heard Simmons talk the other day. He's like, I don't really like the Garland Mitchell combo, and I was like, I was like, what are you talking about? Like, those guys have played really well together majority of the time.
Well, I just think it's a horrible fit that you have 2 point guards pretty much and 2 centers, and then just one wing. Like, it should
and your
be
wings
like,
are not very good.
It should be in the modern NBA like 3 wings, a point guard, and a center. It shouldn't be like 2 small guards, 2 centers, and neither of them could shoot. Like, Mobley, we expected to be able to shoot by now, and he still can't shoot. So that's an issue offensively. We saw it last year in the playoffs. They can't play together in the playoffs at the same time, really. It doesn't work.
But there's still 29 other teams who would love to have Evan Mobley on their team, for sure.
Oh, yeah, but I don't think – well, yeah, but you would trade Jared Allen.
Oh, in a heartbeat.
That's what I'm saying. No, you wouldn't trade Evan Mobley. Hell no. But Evan Mobley needs to play – Evan Mobley needs to play center is what I'm saying. It just doesn't work.
Yeah, I agree.
It works in the regular season. That's why they had the best defense last year. But in the playoffs, it's just offensively, it's horrible. Like, they looked like a mid-2000s offense last year in the playoffs. Like, seriously. Like, it was bad to watch.
They did.
It's a good comparison.
Yeah, that's how basketball was back then. Like, a lot of non-shooters on the floor. And, I mean, Strus and Niang adjusted it or helped it. But still, when you're only playing – Strus at the 3, and then you got the 2 small guards, the 2 centers. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at, like, Craig Porter Jr. has been a nice story, but how long is he going to be able to play like he has for Cleveland?
Yeah.
Okay, last current time before we get to the Christmas Day games, and this is an important one. This is a big deal. Who should the Pacers get to run with Halliburton? Because you know that they are brewing something up to improve that team and get better. Is OG a good fit for the Pacers?
Yes, 100%. They need some sort of defense. That's like the perfect fit. And like, The thing with the Pacers, I was like, when they made the championship of the in-season tournament, I still wasn't very high on them because I was like, you look at their record isn't that great. Like, they also had a really easy schedule to start the season. I wasn't that confident in the Pacers as a team, and I'm still not that high on them because, like you said, they need another piece. I saw this stat today. They're giving up 42 points per game to power forwards over the last month. Just to the power forward position, 42 points per game.
So how many does Jaren Jackson have tonight?
That is crazy.
Jaren Jackson has.
Who knows with him though? He's so inconsistent.
He has 16 halfway.
Okay, yeah. So he's having a much better game than he's on pace probably for 25. Exactly. They can't guard that position for some reason.
Well, yeah, they throw Bruce Brown and Obi Toppin out there and say guard.
Yeah, it's like they don't even care about defense if you watch them. Like, it's just I don't know. They're an interesting team. They need probably a couple defenders at the deadline.
Yeah. I saw the Paul George thing pop up again today, and I was like, guys, this is not happening. He is not leaving Los Angeles for Indianapolis.
I mean, that's the perfect fit, though. That'd be an awesome
basketball.
fit.
It's incredible. Basketball, it's genius for him to go back there. But you know,
but also the Clippers look awesome right now.
Right,
so
yeah, they're playing really well, and yeah, I don't know. I think Markkanen would be awesome on the Pacers. I really do.
Yeah, I do too. Are we gonna talk about that Clippers whatever game win streak it's at now? I think it's at 8 or 9.
Yeah, they're losing right now to OKC by 10 halfway through the third. Chet's going brazy.
Kawhi is out though. I know Kawhi's not playing tonight. It was the first game he's missed all year too.
Yeah, Amir Coffey's playing in his place.
Amir Coffey. Like I will say, Harden looks like, I know he's been a mess these last few years, but he looks like he's having more fun playing basketball than he's had since he was in Houston.
Yeah, they make me look stupid right now. I don't like it.
Yeah, they are, Tim. Harden looks good right now. Seriously.
Yeah, I really hate this team. Like, I hate everything about them. So the fact they're playing well.
You really like Paul George?
Love Paul George. If Paul George wore any other jersey,
you're not a Westbrook hater, are you?
No, I'm not a Westbrook hater. If Paul George wore any other jersey in the NBA besides maybe the Celtics, I'd probably be really excited about what he's doing right now. And I did vote for him for the All-Star game. I did vote him for him to be a starter with LeBron. But just the fact he's playing there with that stupid jersey, I really hate it.
Stupid team.
They are a stupid team.
Stupid faces.
they've never won anything, so it doesn't matter. Like,
they couldn't even win an in-season tournament.
Couldn't he?
No.
Well, neither could 29 other teams.
Yeah. The Lakers hung a banner for how stupid is that? I love the Lakers. We know this.
You knew they weren't gonna give up a chance to hang some sort of piece of cloth in that building.
Stupid.
If they hung up the banner, though, that tells you that everybody would have hung up the banner. Because, like, if the Lakers did it, you tell me the Clippers wouldn't have hung up a banner? Dude. Hell yeah.
You know, like, the Clippers would have been like, look, we finally have something. The Pistons, they would have been like, dude, the Pacers would have had a parade. Everything we know about Indiana fans.
Wait, do you guys know, is it like, let me check. Is it on, like, People's Basketball Reference page now? Like, in-series season tournament champ, like, one-time champ? Like, is that on people's...
I don't know. I haven't looked, actually.
I'm about to look.
It should be. It should be.
Let me see.
Maxwell Lewis, $500,000 richer.
It's not on there.
Like, it needs to be legit.
Wait, yes it is. Yes it is. It says 2023-24 in-season tournament MVP on LeBron, but I don't think it has the title on there. But the MVP's on his Basketball Reference page.
Yeah, I saw that thing with, like, Anthony Davis has now won every championship possible.
Yeah,
that's pretty funny.
Yeah.
I mean, he has, yeah. But it said, like, he was the greatest winner in basketball history or something. I was like, okay, take a step back a little bit there. I saw that.
Well.
Yeah. All right. Let's get into these Christmas Day games. And obviously, all these teams are playing games between now and then, some of them playing as we speak. But I think the matchups are fun this year, minus Golden State and Denver. I don't think that'll be a very good game. But no. I think the other games are pretty fun. I know the Knicks just lost to the Bucks in the in-season tournament semis, but I like that Knicks team. I think that's a team that really can go get a couple pieces and be really good if Tibbs doesn't murder them. Did you guys know that RJ Barrett is 7th on the Knicks in minutes now?
Yeah, 7th and 4th quarter
Wow.
minutes.
Yeah.
It's 4th quarter. When
It's
you listen to
Jalen.
Bill Simmons, you heard that from Bill Simmons? Yeah.
It's Jalen Brunson's team now. And it's Jalen Brunson's team, and it should be.
Yeah, well, no, kind of. Because have you seen what Julius Randle's done
He's
the
been
last
really
month
good.
and a half?
Yeah, he's been really good.
I wouldn't say like, yes, the ball's in Brunson's hands a lot, but like Randle's been balling. Dude's up to averaging 23 on the season. He started out the first 10 games averaging like 12. Like it
Yeah.
was horrible.
Yeah. Yeah. He
It
had a
was
great
rough.
game. Was it last night against the Nets?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. 26, 7 and 4. He was
It's-
really good.
I think that game will be pretty good. I think it's a nice starter for the day. I love that the Knicks are always Christmas Day and they're always a 12 o'clock game. Do you think that they're kind of just like, I'm sure that's just like they're holding on for a thread for just how bad they've been for decades.
It's definitely because they were horrible during some of those years at 12 o'clock.
Yeah. The Tingus Pingus years.
Mm-hmm.
But I like this matchup. I wish the Knicks had Mitchell Robinson. I feel a little better about it. But
Yeah.
I think Isaiah Hartenstein is kind of just that guy who we know he's good, but we never talk about the fact he's good. It's like, yeah, he's underrated. It's like, is he underrated or do we just not talk about him because he's a good basketball player? But I think this Knicks team's very fun, very spry. I think they're 2 dudes away, and I think they're going to be the next time there's a big free agent. I think they finally, for once, they're going to stand to have a conversation with that guy. Will they get him? I don't know. Actually, will there ever be a big free agent ever again? Everyone has extensions now, but like, is Embiid their next guest? But like, I think he's probably gonna be in Philly forever at this point.
Yeah.
But my point being, I like this game. I think it'll be a fun one to start the day. Will I be around in time to watch it? I don't know, but it's nice. It's like the appetite. It's your cup of coffee when you wake up Christmas morning.
Yeah, it's one of those games that if you're actually available to watch it because everybody's doing Christmas stuff, it's kind of on in the background like a lot of the other games. But I feel like the Knicks at noon is just like commonplace, man.
Yeah, it
is just always commonplace.
Spike Lee's like getting down to Times Square at like 9:30 in the morning, like.
Yeah, and I miss seeing my favorite team on Christmas Day. It's been, I don't know how many years.
It's been a long time
now.
since Orlando played Christmas Day, yeah.
So, yes.
They'll be there next year.
They'll be there next year. Actually, I would love to see them play on Christmas Day this year. That would have been fun. That would have been fun as hell.
Yeah.
Who do you think's gonna? I'm assuming you're gonna say the Bucks are gonna win this game.
Yeah, because every time I pick for them, they win. Every time I pick against them, they lose.
Okay.
So remember, I was the guy who said the Pacers would make the in-season tournament final.
Yeah, you were.
They did. So
they did. They did. Warriors, obviously, this game probably not going to be as great as we thought it would have been.
Blowout.
I mean, if this was a team that had all of their players, this would have been a hell of a matchup.
Even then, they have no size.
They have no size at all. I mean, Klay Thompson's been playing well, but you don't have Draymond. You got Steph. I mean, you have the ghost of Chris Paul. It's I think they're going to get beat and embarrassed pretty bad on television.
Yeah.
Stranger things have happened though.
Jokic just signed that new shoe contract with that Chinese shoe company. He's going to make sure they puts on for them on Christmas Day.
Sure.
Who the hell is this company, by the way? Their shoes look stupid, first off.
Oh, they look terrible. Every time I hear that an NBA star is going with like some off-brand shoe from a different country, I'm just like, dude, what are you doing?
Austin Reeves shoes are atrocious.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't blame them for going out and
getting
the bag.
Yeah.
I don't blame them at all. I mean, I famously had a pair of Starberries back in the day.
We all did.
I liked those shoes. I thought it was, for $25-$30. I thought those were a fun pair of basketball shoes, but I just don't care.
Do you think
I don't know why I don't know who would want Jokic's shoes.
Well, that's what I always found funny about Derrick Rose's shoe is that it's still an Adidas shoe that does not retail in America, only retails overseas. and is like the top selling shoe over there.
That's amazing to me. Good for
It's
him.
the weirdest thing ever. I don't think we have you, buddy. Are you muted? Up. We hit. Do. All right, I'll take you off screen real quick while you figure it out. Yeah, but obviously, I don't think the Nuggets have necessarily been tremendous in stretches this year. So you look at
They don't have to be.
right, yeah, it doesn't matter for them. But
Yeah.
they'll probably smoke the Warriors in this game. I can't imagine anyone like the Warriors I'm sure they'll have like some Steph Curry will have some Christmas insanity. No, he hasn't played good career wise Christmas Day. It's kind of been one of his like
No.
hamper.
Yeah, he has not.
No,
I'll if it's on the background, I'll still watch it.
sure.
I'll be rooting for a good Steph game just in case. Because as much as the as much as I admire the Nuggets talent, they're not one of my favorite teams to
Same.
watch on television. And I think a lot of people feel that way and shouldn't. It's good basketball. They play hard. They make shots. They play the right way. It's kind of the same stigma that the Spurs had in the 2000s.
Yeah.
Like they're winning, but it's like a bunch of Eeyores on the floor. Just like, well, I'm fundamentally sound.
Yeah. Like I appreciate who they are. I appreciate what they do,
Yeah.
but it's not a
Yeah.
team that I'm going out of my way to watch the Nuggets. I'll see the box score the next day and I'll see what Jokic did. And I'm like, okay, I didn't miss much.
Yeah.
This is probably the game everyone's really the most excited about though, right?
Mhm.
The 5:00 game.
5:00 game is the game, and it is. I kind of wish this game was on at 8 a little
Me
bit
too.
later when
too.
people. I mean, 5:00 is kind of a random time if people are leaving places or going to other places. Like Christmas is always different for any kind of family, but a lot of times people have to go to multiple houses and things like that. And I feel like 5:00 it's right around a possible dinner time, things like that. I think the 8 this should have been the premier game
I
of the
agree.
evening, and everyone's gonna. It's like either put that one on at 2:30 and make it the afternoon game when someone can watch it, or make it 8:00. So
I
Can
agree.
you hear me? Can you
Yep,
hear
we
me?
got you back.
Here's what I was trying to say before. I don't know what team you're talking about right now. I wanted to say, is it crazy for me to say that the Warriors are the most boring team in basketball?
We were just kind of talking
Watch.
about how the Nuggets are
Yeah.
like incredible, but I don't like watching them.
I think the Warriors are the most boring team in basketball to watch. Like, just watching them is awful. It's legitimately like just watching people that are a shell of themselves on the basketball court. It's awful to watch.
I mean, you're not saying that they were. You're not saying that they were boring to watch 8 years ago, right?
No, God, no. I
Okay.
just think
Okay.
right now, like the way they're like their current like list.
As long
of
as you're
role
not
players
saying that.
up.
Yeah,
It's terrible. It's
over.
abysmal. Yeah, it's over.
So, side note, this conversation's come up on a couple times this week. Are they gonna ride it out with these two? Like with these two, because
Yeah.
they're Steph's guys.
They'll have to.
They'll never win again.
Are they
Never
Steph's
win
They'll
again.
never
guys?
win again.
Does Steph really like Draymond?
Yeah,
Draymond's closer
Yeah.
to LeBron than he is Steph, though. In all seriousness, he's better
You're
friends
right.
with LeBron than he is Steph.
Well, I think that the problem with a team like that is they're too loyal.
yeah.
And they're way too loyal. I mean, Steph's still an incredible basketball player, but Clay, they should have cut him loose last year. There was, and he's played very well in a couple stretches this season. Like he's been really good last couple games, whatever, everybody starts talking about him and then he starts, playing well again. But Draymond and Steph are the only thing that work about any of these teams in terms of like what they can do together. And he's completely sabotaged their whole season because he's not happy and they're not winning. And I think he knows that, but I don't know, man. I think this team is going to, I think they're going to ride it out with these two guys until the end. And then they're going to lose them for nothing. And it's going to be terrible.
What is like nothing though? I mean, what does losing for nothing mean at this point?
It means
Because
that they just walk. You
what's
pay
their
them
trade
out.
value?
Oh, their trade value is nothing right now. Yeah, I'm saying they should have done this a year ago. They still had they could have traded that whole team the year after they won the title. Now were they going to do that? Absolutely not. You run it back. Because I mean, Wiggins looked so good in the finals that year. It was like, oh well, they're back. They've rebooted.
That's the
So,
question with me. What the hell happened to Andrew Wiggins? Like, that's the biggest concern, in my opinion. Like,
he got depressed that the Wolves got really good all of a sudden.
Like, it's simple with Clay, though. Like, he had two of the most gruesome injuries you could have in sports, and he's getting older. That's obvious, and he was never athletic, really. And now I will say, I'm not going to completely write off Clay yet, because what did I do again, Tim? I said he was washed last week. Look at his 4 games since I said that.
Yeah.
He's had 24 plus, I think, in all 4, and it's been really efficient. So I'm not going to completely say Clay's washed yet until if this stretch is a fluke. You know what I mean? I want to see if he can keep this up, because he has looked really good recently, and he went just through a stretch when he first came back where he looked awful too. So I want to see if he can keep this recent stretch up for a little bit.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, Lakers Celtics. I think it's cool to Christmas Day game. It should forever be a Christmas Day game. It should just be, no matter how the teams are doing, that they are the 2 pinnacle franchises in the NBA.
Even if it's 1993 and your best player is Dino Raja, you still go with it. And
had
you're
a sick My Team card, I remember.
He did.
Speed boost at center. I remember he was like the fastest center in the game. He was a pink diamond. I remember that card.
Only the real ones like you know
Yeah.
Dino Raja, Parker.
Exactly. Only from 2K, though. I would have no idea who Dino Raja is besides that, of course.
Man, he was a player that Boston Celtics fans were not happy with in the mid-90s. They had that weird season where Dominique Wilkins went and played with them, and then they had Dino Raja. It was a mess.
It was pretty awesome. And the Lakers, of course, were like running. This is like the post Magic, pre-Shaq run of the Lakers, where it's like, hey guys, check out Sam Perkins. And you're like, okay. This is like right before Eddie Jones and Nick Van Exel. So
Yep.
I think if you're the Lakers, you're looking at this stretch of games you've been going through and what you have ahead of you. And you're probably scared as shit about this game because you lost to the Spurs. I know they were down 4 starters. You lost to the Bulls. We talked about that. You should have won that game because you were better than them.
Mavericks without Luke or without Kyrie should be a win too, honestly.
Yep. And now you're looking at, you got to play Oklahoma City the Saturday before this game. So you don't have a lot of turnaround time to scout the Celtics and get kind of a game plan together.
And you got the Timberwolves right now.
Yeah. So this is kind of a not fun stretch for them. And I think Darvin Ham is starting to show that he's got some flaws as a head coach. So I don't feel very good in saying I think the Lakers will win this game. So I think I have to pick against them.
Yeah, I definitely am going to pick against the Celtics. I'm not going to be surprised if the Lakers win the game, though. I would definitely pick the Celtics to win the game, though, if I had to pick. Yeah. The one flaw we see with the Celtics, though, is they still just are really immature sometimes when it comes to closing out games. Like, sometimes I think Jason Tatum's a top 5 player in the world, and then sometimes he does stuff, and I'm like, is he there yet still? Like, is he still not there yet? Like, he should be there, you feel like, the numbers he's been putting up for years now, and he's been the best player they've made the conference finals every year but once in his whole career.
Yeah.
So it's like they've been really, really good.
And that was the Kyrie meltdown season.
Yeah, but it's just like sometimes, or actually 2, I take that back, because they didn't make it the year they got swept by the Nets. The year the Nets were actually good. That was the one year they weren't good, the Celtics. But it's just like when you watch the Celtics, like sometimes they just look like they have no idea what to do at the end of the game still against good teams. Like that Warriors game, they blew that game. Yeah. You're literally just playing Steph Curry. The rest of that Warriors team is horrible. They're horrible.
How dare you disrespect Brandon Podjamazewski the
third. I told you. His stats and stuff look good, but he is my least favorite player to watch in the NBA. His game is so ugly. He's so ugly.
He's the West Coast version of Bilal Coulibaly, where you're like, this guy stinks. You're like, oh, he did what?
Yeah, Coulibaly's shooting like 42 from 3, and I was like, every time I watch it, it'd be air balls.
Yeah. I hate that I picked the Celtics to win this game, but I just don't see. Look at the Lakers schedule. I don't know when they get back on track, but
They're hanging in there tonight. A win tonight would be huge without
Yeah.
LeBron. That would be huge.
yeah, it's a much needed win.
It's a close game, so if they could somehow pull out that game, that would be huge for them.
But once again, they're relying on two guys to be their offense. So,
Anthony Davis and Austin Reeves.
yep. And then this is probably my game, I would say. And obviously Lakers Celtics I'm always excited for, but Philly Miami is gonna be a lot of fun. There's obviously the
Yeah.
Butler Embiid history. Butler always like jokes about Embiid going to play in play in Miami. And obviously what Philly's done post Harden trade has been tremendous. Nick Nurse has been the perfect coach for this team. Been fantastic for these guys. PJ Tucker obviously regrets going to LA from recent comments. Feels like he probably wishes he was still playing for the Sixers. But something about Jimmy Butler in these moments, I know he hasn't always won on Christmas Day, i.e. the Bulls Spurs Christmas Day game that was right after the Cavs Warriors, the classic. But I feel like Miami at home, it's gonna be they're actually gonna have a crowd for that game. I'm still picking the Sixers. I can't pick the Heat in that game. Embiid's just on a roll right now. He's unstoppable.
He is, dear
Monster.
God. What he did to the best defense in the NBA with the best rim protection in the NBA with the most size in the NBA is insane.
Yeah.
That was 51 last night. That was the best game he's played in his career, in my opinion, because of the matchup.
Yeah.
Like he wasn't
I
playing the
agree.
Wizards last night. He was playing the toughest defense in the NBA that has made lots of big struggle this year.
He had quite the bum sleigh run. This has kind of solidified the bum sleigh run.
His line last night was like 45 and a half points plus rebounds, right? Nobody had covered that against the Timberwolves in 118 straight games. And then Embiid went on and had like 67 points plus rebounds or something. Like, he's a monster.
He's the man. Back-to-back MVP?
Yeah, he's by far the MVP right now. I don't think it's close.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah.
He's got to do it in the playoffs, though. He's got to do it because he's going to be 30 this year in the playoffs, and we still haven't seen it.
Yeah.
So he's got to do it in the playoffs. It's not like he's been horrible, but he's not dominant in the playoffs. He hasn't been dominant at all.
Yeah, I agree, man. I agree. Anyway, any objections to the Sixers beating the Heat?
No, they're gonna win.
Cool. And then we have Mavericks Suns. I'll be asleep at this point. 10:30. I'm an old man.
Not tonight, you won't.
I have no interest in watching the Suns until all three guys are on the floor.
They look horrible right now.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask what your guys' temperature reading is on the Suns. No,
Wish we had Nate on here with this biased Sun. He'd be like, "We look great."
It's like, well, I can't judge this team until I have my big three.
That big three is never gonna play together.
I don't ever stay up to watch Suns games. They're on the West Coast, and I just can't, and I can't muster up any attention. But they've had such a so-so season, and I don't like this team. I just don't like them. Like Booker and Durant, cool, but it's like that's it, man. And it's like what Bradley Beal, like it's like I see these like updates are like he's gonna play
2 days later, out a month.
He's not. He's out another month. It's like okay, and this was kind of the story of Bradley Beal's career previous to this. Sometimes he would come in and have like a really good couple of months or whatever, but like he's hurt a lot. Like he's not somebody I would invest in. And I just some of these teams, man, I just don't think that they know what the hell they're doing.
Bradley Beal is the reason I can't give up on Zach LaVine because they're the same player.
They are. You're not wrong.
Everyone is like, Beal's the big deal, all NBA, this, and this. And I'm like, okay, what about LaVine? Oh, he's terrible. He's not a winning player. And this is like,
nope. That is a fantastic comparison.
Yeah, they're the same player.
Fantastic. Yep.
God, I guess I have to pick a team to win this game. I'll pick the Mavericks just because Luka's going to bitch his way to 44 foul shots and he's going to complain about every double dribble call. And
I hate watching Luka.
I used to not.
I've always hated watching him
I think he's an incredible player. I think that, he's super talented. He deserves to be discussed as one of the best players in the league, but he is miserable to watch play basketball.
I think Jokic is miserable too.
I do too.
But the thing is with Jokic, it's not anything he does wrong. Like Luka bitches the whole time is why he's miserable. Like
Yeah.
And his bitches aren't even valid. He gets every damn call. Like LeBron gets murdered and they call it hardly. So at least he has a reason. I don't know. Like Luka just argues every call.
Yeah.
How long is Kyrie out for?
He's still in a boot, isn't he?
Still in
Shocking.
the boot.
Shocking.
Okay. Yeah.
Has he had some conspiracy theory he's tweeted out lately?
No, he hasn't. I just
He's probably gonna be rumored to the Lakers soon.
probably.
It's about that time of year.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna be honest. Like, I don't think any star should want to play with Luka. Seriously, I think he would be horrible to play with. And I don't think if he doesn't switch it up, I don't think currently he's winning a title. If he doesn't switch up his play style.
Yeah. I agree. Live it up in Dallas and make all your money. Get all your all NBAs, go to your All-Star games. But that's as good as it's going to get for you. All right, let's go ahead and move on to our next segment. Our flashback this week. We're going to keep the Christmas Day game tradition going. Some of our favorite Christmas Day games of all time. And we just talked about it. I love Christmas Day basketball. It's like I do my thing with my family in the morning. I go home the rest of the day. I'm on the couch, have a couple of beers, eat some snacks, and watch basketball all day. It's my favorite thing to do. And I'm sure there's going to be some of the games we bring up here is going to have some recency bias just because the games the last few years have been incredible for the most part. But there's just some different ones over the years I really want to discuss. And obviously, you can't talk about Christmas Day without Christmas Day 2004, Lakers Heat, Shaquille O'Neal's first game back at the Staples Center after the trade. The infamous when he walks onto the floor and he dabs everybody up, and Kobe and him don't even look at each other and like kind of brush shoulders. Just awesome because of the sense of like it felt like a pro wrestling match in the sense of the build up, the animosity between those two at the time. Obviously, everything that happened the year before, where Kobe was like, he has to go, or I'm going to the Clippers if he is still a Laker, and everything the Lakers got back in that trade. That Lamar Odom was obviously a great fit for them, but everything else was kind of shaky. No disrespect to my guy Brian Grant, but wasn't a great setting for them. Gary,
do you remember how much Kobe had in that game?
42.
42.
Yeah.
And he lost.
Yeah. Wade is like, if you go back and watch the game, Wade is unstoppable at stretches in that game. I think his stats numbers don't look very good, but the way he just kind of made everything happen, he was awesome.
I forgot that Eddie Jones was still on that team back then.
I think he started.
Yeah, he did. He had 18 points in that game. And then Damon Jones started as well. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Oh, and here's some other players that were their bench. Christian Laettner.
Mm-hmm. Michael Doliak.
Shandon Anderson. Rashul Butler. Michael Doliak. And Keon Dooling. Like that was their team at the time. So weird.
And that
I
bench
totally
is probably
forgot Eddie Jones.
Probably better than that Lakers team. Kobe, Brian Grant, Lamar Odom, Andrew Bynum,
Chris Mim. Oh, Jesus.
Chris Mim. Yeah. That's the game where
like point guard that year. That was terrible.
That's the game when Bynum and Shaq got into it.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that's an all-timer.
Yeah. That one is an all-timer. Yeah, that's a great one to bring up, man. That's one like that one doesn't stick out to me as much, but that was like an all-timer.
Do you remember the lockout year when the season started on Christmas Day and the Mavs had the Heat and it was ring day? So like they were basically showed off that they beat them in the finals, and the Heat were just like, fuck these guys, and just destroyed them.
Yeah. Well, they didn't want to get embarrassed on rig night like what happened with the Bulls, and then when the Shaq Heat ended up winning the next year, and I think they beat them by like 40 some points on ring night, so they weren't going to let that happen again.
Yeah, I think like first possession, Wade and LeBron had like a dunk play, and it was like, okay, they are
here we go.
Pissed off.
Yeah. My favorite Christmas game of all time, period. And this is like one of those games where I got up out of my seat, screamed, through some stuff. It was great. But the coming out of the lockout season, Bulls Lakers,
Yeah.
and Derrick Rose hit a go-ahead jumper with 4.8 left. They came back from 11-point deficit in the last 4 minutes, and the Lakers looked absolutely stunned because the Lakers were still very good at this time. Like this was Pau Gasol, Kobe, Fisher was there. I mean, it was still a good team. Meta World Peace was coming off the bench. Bynum was there. He didn't play though, but like the Bulls were so freaking hungry, and they came in and they had Rip Hamilton starting for them, which is just crazy. And Rose Ding, just had an awesome game, just absolutely awesome game. It was a low scoring affair, but that was so good. And I was like, okay, we're back.
That was one of those like
We're
Noah.
back.
He didn't do much offensively, but defensively, he was incredible games.
Oh yeah,
Which
yeah.
was pretty much damn near every game. Early before he got a lot better as he got older, but early on at least.
That was one of my all-time favorites.
Mine would probably be that Cavs Warriors game once they got KD.
That game rules so
well. Cavs were down like 20 points in the fourth quarter, came back and won.
Yeah.
Kyrie went crazy. LeBron went crazy. There's the Richard Jefferson poster and the LeBron poster. Was the LeBron poster on Draymond or? Yep. Yeah, LeBron dunked on Draymond. You could just tell Kyrie game winner. Forgot about that. It was a tough ass game winner. The
Kyrie
infamous they fouled the shit out of KD. Didn't Richard Jefferson just blatantly shove KD on the final play and they didn't call it? I believe is what happened.
Yeah.
Just overall, that was a super exciting time. And after that game, people definitely thought like, oh, this Cavs team can beat them in the finals still. And then, that didn't happen. But
yeah, then they played again on Martin Luther King Day, and the Warriors destroyed the Cavs. I think it was like 132 to like 96 or something like that.
Yeah, they did.
Some of the fun things from that game that I always like really enjoy. So there's that one stretch where Draymond comes down, has a huge dunk, and then where he gets a steal from LeBron. So LeBron's by himself at the other side of the rim, and Kevin Love just throws one of those like insane outlet passes that he has, and LeBron just throws down some crazy dunk right after it. It's like you're not gonna one up me kind of things. Mm-hmm. Also, that year was the best Christmas jerseys. Those jerseys were great that year, with everyone their team colors. Their name was in cursive. That's an all. Yeah, I always thought those were awesome. I think another fun one, kind of keep with the same thing. LeBron's first year at LA, the game he gets hurt against Golden State, he's like incredible in that game, and it looks like those young Lakers are going to be really good, and then they weren't after he got hurt. Obviously, that's when the Anthony Davis stuff started coming up out of nowhere. But that game was really good. I'm trying to think. I can't believe we haven't. Not to keep the LeBron thing going. His rookie year, him versus Tracy McGrady, Cavs versus Magic. That game freaking rules too.
Don't know that game.
Oh, dude.
Lakers Heat one. I was an infant in that game, but the Lakers Heat one not remember, but I've seen the highlights of that game. I've never seen the highlights of that Magic Cavs.
So, since you have League Pass with your NBA ID, you can watch that game for free right now. It's on the main screen.
Seriously,
it's so good. It's so good. It's his rookie year, and him and McGrady just go at it. Like McGrady goes down, hits a bucket. He goes down, hits a bucket. It's a really fun game.
McGrady Magic was like a different McGrady.
Yeah, that was a whole different world.
Unstoppable.
I'm trying to remember who did the '96 Bulls play that Christmas Day game that year. I know they won.
Yeah, they did. 1996.
I'm pulling
Bulls Christmas Day.
No,
so it was 70. No.
Game logs.
Pistons.
That's right.
Pistons. Yeah. So that was the 96-97 season.
Yeah, 95-96. They didn't play on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
They lost the day before.
Why the hell was there no Christmas Day games? Like, why were they not playing on Christmas Day?
Let's see.
What
was Christmas Day in 1996? 1995.
Yeah, let's see. Let's see here. NBA Christmas.
Orlando had to be on that day, right?
Yeah.
This is a riveting.
Yeah,
Cover.
they defeated the Houston Rockets on Christmas
That's
Day.
right, because that's like a big
And-
Penny Hardaway game.
Yeah, I'm trying to see. Let me see here. 19. Okay, I actually found the Wikipedia page here. This is helpful. So in 1995-96, there were only 2 games. So isn't that crazy? Like back then, they
San
only had 2
Antonio and
games.
Phoenix.
San Antonio and Phoenix, and then Houston and Orlando. And then the following year, it was the Lakers because they had just gotten Shaq.
Yep.
Versus the Phoenix Suns, and they just murdered them. So, and then in 97-98, they had the Bulls had a Christmas Day game. They played the Miami Heat, and they beat
I
them.
remember that game.
Yeah, I remember that one. I'll be honest with you. I don't think that I watched that Christmas game. I did watch the year that Jordan was gone. 1994, 1995. That was probably like one of the first NBA games I watched. They played the Knicks, and they ended up beating the Knicks in overtime. And Scotty was just like unreal,
As he normally was, and never gets credit for.
Yeah. Oh, he'll tell you about that now if you ask him.
Yeah.
Yeah. He'll tell you. He just might not get the credit. I was about to say Scotty will tell you.
I'm looking at the Pacers during the PG era. They never had a Christmas Day game during the Paul George era.
They should have.
They were like the second best team in the East for that run.
They really were.
Because thinking back on it, it was always Knicks played, the mellow Knicks, the Heat.
Yeah.
The Celtics would play, and then the Wizards would always get Christmas Day games with John Wall. John Wall and Beal would always be on Christmas Day, weirdly.
Everyone wanted to watch that.
John Wall was exciting.
Oh, dude, I love John Wall. I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those teams were also like, I think we look on them like more fun. Like they were boring to watch. If that, like, they weren't a fun play style. They were like the Grizzlies of the East. If you remember, like
they got Christmas games quite a few times.
The Grizzlies did the Conley era Grizzlies.
I'm pretty sure they did.
There's no way. I don't think they did. I don't think I ever remember watching the Grizzlies on Christmas
Let me
Day.
find these.
So Grizzlies have only played once on Christmas, and it was last year.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Grizzlies' first Christmas Day game was last year, and they played the Warriors, and they lost.
I was about to say the Grind City, Zach Randolph, Conley, and Gasol Grizzlies didn't play on Christmas
For some
Day.
reason or other, I thought they did.
No, you're having some sort of a weird fever dream here. He's like, I remember Zach Randolph posting harder the whole game.
I remember a Zach Randolph ISO post up on Christmas.
Tony Allen was stripping the ball from everyone.
Zach Randolph in the paint was dominant that night.
How dare you forget about Mike Conley's Christmas Day highlights?
That was good, Tim.
Yeah, that was awesome.
It's like
because me and Sean were looking like, what? I don't remember that.
I could have sworn they did. It wasn't like I was like doing that to do it. Like
maybe it was New Year. Maybe it was New Year's Eve.
No, they
yeah, maybe it was.
It was probably a MLK Day game. It probably was not a Christmas Day.
There you go. Yeah, because they're always probably featured on that. Because
they always play on MLK Day.
Yeah.
They always play on MLK Day. Yep. He remembers a Zach Randolph post up on primetime at some point.
Who doesn't? I mean, you don't.
Yeah, I mean, I do. Just not. I just can't imagine Grind City Grizzlies versus the Roy Hibbert Pacers on Christmas Day. That would be
I'm looking at this
68-63 battle.
That'll put you away after the Christmas turkey.
Yeah. that game would not do well ratings. I'm telling you.
I was unintentionally capping people. I apologize. Unintentionally capping. Oh man, those MLK Day games. How could you forget them? Last one I'll mention real quick, not necessarily a great game, but kind of a fun one, was the Bulls OKC in 2015.
They played on Christmas Day against each other. That's such a random Christmas Day game.
Jimmy Butler was had a huge game. Derrick Rose was not very good. Taj Gibson was phenomenal in this game. You
They
talk
won,
about Zach
too.
Randolph. Yeah, Taj Gibson, baby.
Taj Gibson, who called for a sub last night. Did y'all see that? He was like exhausted. He played like 13 straight minutes or
He's
something.
like, dude, I can't do this anymore. What are you doing, Tibbs?
He just follows Tibbs. He's the James Jones to LeBron to Tibbs.
So
Yeah.
So Chicago has not had a Christmas Day game since 2016.
When they
That's
lost to
crazy.
San Antonio.
Yes.
The only
Yep,
reason
that
I
was
remember that
119.
game, it was the Cherry 13s were being like highly advertised by Jordan Brand that day. And at the time, Kawhi, Butler, and LaMarcus Aldridge were all Jordan athletes. So they're all wearing the same shoes in that game.
Okay.
That's the only reason I remember that game. That and Dwayne Wade played in it. Kind of a random thing. All right, let's go ahead and get to our draft before we have any other insane things that didn't really happen come up.
Random nostalgia.
Yeah, unintentional random nostalgia.
I don't know why. That was so funny. I don't know why. That was just hilarious.
I'm an old man now, Parker. I don't remember everything.
That excuse.
All right, so this was picked by Ben when Ben filled in for Sean last week. This is the all-time Shaquille O'Neal teammate draft. This is not like last week. You can pick all-stars if you wish. So if I have it correctly, this order will go. What'd you pick last week, Parker? Were you first? You were first, right?
Second. I was second.
Okay.
I was supposed to be first. I gave it to Ben.
That's right. All right. So you want second or third this time?
I'll take second.
Okay. So I'll get the wraparound. So Sean, your all-time Shaquille O'Neal teammates. Number one
Okay.
overall. Who you got?
Mr. LeBron James.
Easiest pick in history.
Oh, I forgot. I forgot he was. I was thinking Kobe. I forgot LeBron was even his teammate. I would have drafted Kobe.
You should have just went ahead and gave Parker the pick. He was unknowing about that.
Yeah, literally, I completely forgot they played
together. You caught
together.
him off guard. You didn't catch me off guard. I knew where you were going, Tim.
Yeah, I completely forgot about LeBron with Shaq.
How could you? LeBron won the MVP that year.
He did. He did.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, I'm going with Kobe. Second greatest shooting guard ever. Yeah, Kobe. 3 titles together.
Yep. All right. So I got the wraparound. This is easy. Penny and Wade.
Okay. All right.
No 3-point shooting though. Mid-range masters.
I like it. Parker, who you taking?
Oh, sorry. I was thinking it was Sean still. I'm just trying to think right now. I guess here I'm gonna go with the big ticket. I'm going with Kevin Garnett.
Nice.
Okay.
Celtics teammate.
Okay.
Counts.
I am gonna go with Mr. Steve Nash, 2-time MVP.
Nice.
You got another one too.
Yeah.
All right. This is where it starts to get hairy, guys. And you know I'm right.
Mm-hmm.
God, I can't do it. I can't pick Paul Pierce. So I'm going with I'm going with one of my favorite players of all time. I'm going with Horace Grant.
All right. Is that 2 drafts you've taken Horace Grant now?
No, that's me. I took Horace last one.
I'll take Ho Grant all day, boys.
If he's going with Horace Grant, I hate Paul Pierce, so I'm not drafting Paul Pierce either.
Yeah.
I'm taking Ray Allen though, not Horace Grant. I'm taking Ray Allen.
Yeah.
Second greatest shooter ever, I'd say, arguably. So I'll take Ray Allen.
I also hate Paul Pierce.
So
I'm sure I'm going to take someone here that people are going to go, how you took this guy over Paul Pierce? And you know what? I did. So give me Nick Anderson. All right.
Okay.
Way too high, but I had to
hope you don't have to shoot any free throws. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Okay.
And then, so that's all right, shooter. I'm really small right now, though, team-wise. Give me Amari Stoudemire.
Okay.
Okay.
For my pick, I hate Paul Pierce. It's a tough decision. I hate Paul Pierce.
Did I take him? Yes. Did I?
Yeah,
No.
I don't want to take Paul Pierce. All right, so who do I got so far? I got Kobe.
Mm-hmm.
I got Kevin Garnett, and I got Ray Allen. All right, we need a point guard. Give me Rondo.
There you go. You're just getting the whole
Okay.
damn Celtics team besides Paul Pierce?
We're going with the 08 or the 08 champion Celtics, even though he wasn't on that team, Shaq. But still,
All right.
we're going with the
All
08
right.
Celtics.
So this is going to be controversial. I hate Paul Pierce so much that I'm gonna pick Karl Malone.
I was to say,
Oh
is this,
yeah, he was a. Oh, we should have taken him way earlier. I forgot.
is this
Karl
the we
Malone.
hate Paul Pierce draft or the Shaq
Yeah.
teammate draft?
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
we hate Paul Pierce.
Yeah.
We got to
When
round it
can
out
we-
here.
Oh, is this my last one here? Oh, well then I have to take Paul Pierce. Unfortunately,
Oh God, he did it. He folded.
he's-
We went 5 rounds without it. So
but I wanted him to stand on that line in the gym and get picked last.
All right, so my last pick here, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so it's a tough decision here. So I got Rondo, I got Kobe, I got Kevin Garnett. Who's my fourth player? Rondo. Ray Allen.
Yeah.
So I need a center. I need a center
So
here.
So you have the Celtics, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I pretty much
Okay.
have the Celtics here outside of Paul Pierce. You know what? We're gonna take
Sorry to
a
steal him
center.
from you.
Give me Zildrunas Ilgauskas.
Okay.
Nice, very nice. That's a great pick.
That is a really good pick. I
He
like
was
that
an
pick.
all-star at one point early in his career too. So
He won the 1997 Schick rookie game MVP.
Yep. All right. Since my team
'Cause
sucks,
Duncan didn't play.
and I'm not going to win anyway, give me Grant Hill.
Grant Hill.
Oh, very nice, very nice. Okay,
Ah.
okay, I
All
like
right.
it.
Well, with Sean being gone, Ben picking a draft, we're all out of sorts now. So Parker picked the LeBron draft. Ben picked this one. Sean picked first. Is it my turn again?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
your
sure.
turn to pick a
Go
draft.
for it. It's
All
like,
right.
is it my turn? I got a few ideas.
All right. Let's see. Next week's draft will be.
Paul Pierce teammates draft.
Let's go with.
Grind City Grizzlies draft.
We'll go away from draft from teams for a little, from like teammates for a little while. All right, we'll go. Because you can't go MVP winners because that's just all like the greatest players of all time, basically. Shit, this is hard. Okay, all-time Lakers Celtics draft. Can only take guys who played on those teams.
It's a deep pool.
Yeah, that's quite a deep pool. Like, how long do you have to play? Is there like a minimum? I feel like there should be a minimum years, like 3 years or something.
No. It could be anybody. That's what widens the pool.
Yeah, true.
I can say I could
So-
go the '80s rivalry. Like
I was just gonna say like 3 years because then it's not like Karl Malone, like because he's not like a Lake. You know what I mean? Like it was just like, but like
he
LeBron
was-
and he's a
he was
Laker
there.
at this point. Yeah, he was there.
I'll say we is there 15 players we could draft if we go like the 80s Lake Show versus the Celtics rivalry, Bus versus Arbach.
I think you open it up I think you just open it up and make it wide because
Yeah,
I
or
think
you could
that-
do like pre-2000 maybe if you wanted to do something like that. You could do something like that.
We could have done the guys who played for both teams: Gary Payton, Rajon Rondo, Rick
Gary Payton
Fox,
played for
Brian
the
Shaw.
Celtics. When? I did not know that.
After Milwaukee.
yes, he
Did
did.
not know that.
Yeah.
Very short time. I think it was a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was 1 year
He
on the
did.
Celtics. He averaged 11.
All right.
He averaged 11.
Next week, the all-time Lakers Celtics rivalry players. So that's gonna be a fun one. It could be
Mhm.
a clusterbuck. It could also be really good. So time will
It'll be
tell.
great. It'll be good.
All right, folks. Well, we're going to go and wrap up this week's edition of NBA Friday. Thank you all so much for hanging out and tuning in with us. We definitely appreciate it. Be sure, as always, to check us out on all your subscriptions of choice. Subscribe to us on the YouTube channel if you're just seeing us for the first time. On behalf of Sean and Parker, Merry Christmas. We will see you all next week.
See you guys.
See you.